Long before tofu found its place on Western tables, it was already a quiet legend in the East. In the kitchens of ancient Japan and China, tofu was more than just food. It was craft, tradition, and nourishment in its purest form. I spent hours reading old books, chasing secrets hidden between the pages. But in the end, the best recipe wasn't in any book. It was in the hands of my mom, who taught me everything I know. Her way was passed down through generations, guided more by intuition rather than rules. That's how tofu is truly made, and today I'd love to share that with you. Tofu begins with something incredibly humble: soybeans. Tiny, dry, and hard as stones. But inside, they hold so much potential. With just water, heat, and time, these little beans can give us everything. Soy milk, creamy tofu, even protein-packed patties made from the pulp. It's kind of amazing when you think about it. One single ingredient, and from it, a whole meal. Nothing wasted, nothing artificial, just real food. So we begin by soaking the beans overnight. They slowly come back to life, waking up after a long sleep. And here's a little secret. We add a spoonful of baking soda to the water. It helps soften the beans more evenly and makes them easier to blend later. The next day, we rinse them with water 2 or 3 times. After that, we blend them with water until smooth. I use about 1.5 liters of water for every 250 grams of soybeans. I start by adding a portion of water to the blender and give it a first blend. Then I pour in the rest of the water and blend again until everything is smooth and creamy. Now we cook the blended beans. Before pouring the blended soy into the pot, my mom always adds a thin layer of water to the bottom. It's a little trick she taught me to keep the soy from sticking or burning while it cooks. Just a small step, but it makes a big difference. Cooking the soy mixture is one of the most important steps. It's what makes the soybeans digestible and helps remove the natural bitterness. That's why it's important to cook it for at least 40 minutes. A little longer is even better. The more it cooks, the smoother and more gentle the flavor becomes. This part needs your full attention. As the heat rises, the soy milk starts to foam and rise quickly. If you don't watch it carefully, it can overflow in seconds. So every time it rises, we add a little water to calm it down. I usually rinse out the blender with fresh water and pour that in. It helps clean the container as well. While cooking, you'll likely see a layer of foam forming on the surface. Some people like to skim it off, but I usually leave it. Since I cook it well and filter everything later, it's not really necessary. What is important though is to keep a close eye on it. Soy milk can rise and overflow quickly, so I stay close, ready to stir and cool it down when needed. Once the soy mixture is cooked, it's time to filter the milk. We pour it through a cotton cloth placed inside a colander. The liquid that passes through is our fresh soy milk. What's left inside the cloth is the pulp, and we want to squeeze it really well. I usually twist the cloth closed and press it firmly using a spoon to get every last drop of milk out. This leftover pulp is called okara. Okara is full of nutrients, fiber, protein, and a mild nutty flavor that makes it perfect for cooking. We'll set it aside for now. The very first thing we get from this process is soy milk, creamy, smooth, and full of nutrients. We pour some into jars and tuck them away in the fridge. It will keep for a few days, ready to use in all kinds of ways. Poured over cereals, blended into smoothies, or simply enjoyed on its own. The rest of the milk becomes tofu, and that's where the real transformation begins. To turn soy milk into tofu, we need a coagulant. We're using nigari, a natural coagulant traditionally used in Japan. It's made from magnesium chloride and it usually comes in flakes. To make the tofu, we dissolve about 25 grams of nigari flakes, roughly 2 tablespoons, in a bit of warm water. Then, we gently stir it into the hot soy milk, little by little, mixing slowly and carefully. Slowly, the milk begins to separate and curdle. We let it rest for a moment, then continue adding more, until we start to see larger curds forming. We let it rest for about 1 or 2 hours. Once the curds have formed, it's time to gently scoop them out and transfer them into a mold. You can use whatever shape you like. Rectangular is the most common, but this time I decided to try a round one to give the tofu a soft, ricotta-like shape. So we carefully gather the curds and gently transfer everything into the mold. Then we let it drain for about 3 to 4 hours, so the tofu can firm up and take shape. You can speed up the process by placing a light weight on top, which helps press out the liquid more efficiently. And here it is, our homemade tofu. The texture can change depending on how much coagulant you use, how long you let it set, and even how much you press it. This time it turned out extra soft, just the way I like it, but it's easy to make it firmer too. It's all about finding your balance with thyme and nigari. The magic doesn't stop here. While the tofu sets, we turn to what's left behind, because nothing goes to waste. The soft pulp we set aside earlier is called okara. It may look humble, but it's packed with fiber and protein. And now it's time to turn it into something truly delicious. You can mix okara with whatever ingredients you like. It's incredibly versatile. I went for some simple vegetables like potatoes, carrots, and leeks. To which I added hijiki seaweed and shiitake mushroom powder to give it a deeper, umami-rich flavor. These are all the ingredients I'm using. It's a perfect combination of fiber, protein, and flavor. I mix everything with okara and mashed potatoes and adjust with soy sauce and a bit of salt. Finally, we shape them into patties, roll them in breadcrumbs, and they're ready to cook. Crispy on the outside, soft and flavorful inside. These little patties are not only delicious, they're also nutritionally complete. They combine plant-based protein from the okara, healthy carbs from the potatoes, and plenty of fiber and minerals from the vegetables and seaweed. Good for the body, zero waste, and super satisfying too. And just like that, we've come full circle, turning simple soybeans into milk, tofu, and a full meal. Nothing wasted, everything used. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe and leave a like to support the channel. See you in the next one.